Ever since I've been born, I've been hearing about how we got rights and freedoms. I've never really felt them. You know why? Because they were infringed before I was born. So somebody is running around with our freedom prior to the government. These loyalists of the British Empire from the Revolutionary War, and as these uh, our Constitution was written, as our Constitution was exposed after, and the Bill of Rights was shown to the people of what they have. The loyalists, the ones that were still loyal to Britain after the Revolutionary War, well, they went into creating they all, I believe they all went into creating the Civil War. But these loyalists have been against the freedoms. They take that this country is uh, everything is ungained or untruthful or not gained properly, because they think uh, the English Empire was took it or had it control of it properly or something. But anyway, ever since they've been infringing the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Well, I don't know how they could infringe the Constitution. I don't know. They have rewritten some stuff in there. And but anyway, they added the 16th Amendment to give themselves. It was for a war cause, but they never took it out, and so they've been living on our. They've been just increasing tenfold the money going into their coffer. Given they got so much coming to them, they have so many things that they could spend it on in this country, but they give it away to other countries for favoritism and voting, possibly for elitist, programs, for just everything about political. It has nothing to do with the country. It has nothing to do with why we pay our taxes. I don't pay my taxes to have government give it away to another country. I don't pay my taxes to just frivolously spend it on stuff that they think there's an agenda waiting to happen, and they need to spend my tax money. I don't pay taxes for that. I think, if anything, I should be able to say where my taxes go. Of course, would that even be possible to control that? But what I'm putting this video out for, I don't think I've ever felt freedom before. I think I'm under this infringed government that they stripped as much freedom, the feeling of freedom, as they could hundreds of years ago. And in the 20s, they I don't know what the 20s. Well, the 30s happened, and so when they infringed the Second Amendment, the Depression happened. And then we had two wars. Well, we had four wars. Actually, we had like 5 or 6 wars. More than that, small battle wars. But we've had about 5 or 6 big, real big wars. And where we had no need. I mean, I'm not dissing the people that fought in them, because at the time, they was like, well, we're fighting against communism, and that's what it was for. Yeah, so I don't diss anybody that goes in the military, because this country, we're finding out, you find out 70, 80, 100 years, 200 years later that you're being brainwashed by the government, you're being brainwashed by the people that write the news, and all this is elitist propaganda. It's the same stuff they do in communist countries, and they're still doing it in front of your face. And everybody's like, well, this is, and so we're basically already in a communist country. They stole our freedom. I don't feel the freedom. They're up there, somebody's gleefully walking around, happy as a cucumber, and I don't know how happy cucumbers are, but I'm just I do. I mean, yeah, I can go to another country and see how poor they were. That has nothing to do with freedom. You can see them walking around. They're still joyful and happy. I've been to Haiti and stuff like that, and the people were still happy. Now they might have just been putting on a face. Of course, the belly was probably starving and everything like that. But they put on a face, and there's still a freedom there. I mean, they're trying to sell us like, well, you can go from state to state, and that's your freedom. That's what they've got us at. State to state, well, you can leave the country. Well, they don't want you going to this country. And now they got what? They got some military personnel in what, Russia or somewhere is it, where they got them detained, and they send back a sports figure, a dope smoking, sexual gender trader, well, not trader, but sexual gender. They trade, their genders and stuff. Anyway, but I mean, I just don't feel my freedom, and they're trying to push us into socialism to even take more of it. And people, who are these people that's agreeing with this government saying, yeah, that's what we need? I mean, you got these big webcasters. They got big giant promotions. They're making $100 million, and they're promoting socialism. They claim freedom, and then they claim socialism. We already got communism. We already got socialism. We already got everything in this country. Communism is all the people that's, well, you got basically criminals and everybody under government rule that the money for their existence comes from government. You got that. You got socialism. You got people partially being helped, and that's the socialism. You got, I mean, basically you could call GM and or Ford and whoever socialist because they're getting bailed out by the government. So that's basically a socialist cause. You could say that all these people getting, if they get a socialism towards these college people that don't want to pay their money, and all these bailouts and stuff, and they just push money wherever they're going to get favoritism is where they push the money. They don't do it for the country. They do it for their agendas, and everybody's just sitting back saying that's the way it is. That's the way it's been, but that ain't the way it's supposed to be. And everybody's sitting back. I think they've taken over the existence of humans in this country. I think these communist socialists are taking over the how people breed in their embryos. I mean, look at them they're killing babies. They kill how many unborn babies a year? I'm at 8 minutes. That's all I'm going to talk about. This is just getting something, something needs spurred. Nobody needs to be a horse. If you feel spurred, then you're probably getting rode. And you need to jump out of that position and stand up instead of kneeling down, being oppressed. You got to know what to say, though. You got to know what the argument is. You can't be on the side of communism and socialism when this is supposed to be a free country. You're supposed to embrace that. You're supposed to embrace our rights. You're supposed to embrace the Constitution. You don't have to pray to it. You don't have to bow to it. You say, yeah, we have that. You might want to speak one way or the other, but you shouldn't speak or vote against the freedoms that we have. I mean, that's like if you buy something and then the people come in and say, well, I don't like you having this corner. Say if you got a lot, they start chipping away and taking your lot from you. This corner, I feel this is a prejudiced corner because whatever, it's just, that's what it's like. It's like you're losing where your stand. You're not going to have any place to stand. You're going to be trespassing. You're going to be and you could say everybody's trespassing in this country because it's basically a planet. But anyway.